Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Scott back with another episode. And listen, we got to talk about last night's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're going to be getting into why Nene is saying that Kenya is secretly trying to take Porsha out and she's using Nene to do it. And then we're going to be discussing the episode. We're going to break it all down and give it to you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like Housewives related content, reality TV related content. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell button so that you can be clued into when we drop new episodes on this channel. And with that being said, let's go ahead and wait. And also, you guys can actually text me. I'll reach back out to you as much as possible, let you guys know exactly what I'm doing as well. As you guys can see, I'm not in my normal setup. I'm here in Los Angeles. I attended the ABFF honors last night. I'll put the link to in the description about that, and you guys can learn all about that. And I'll try to post some behind the scenes as well. I'll send it to my texting community as well. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. Now, Nene Leakes, after the episode, she did, I guess, her version of a speak on it. And, you know, Kandi did her version as well. I like to watch both of those to kind of get their reactions and get what they feel about the episode so that I can really have a better frame of mind when I'm actually reviewing it. And so when I document everything, it's a better picture of what's actually happening in the episode because we get the behind the scenes with their YouTube channels. I'm not necessarily sure why more housewives don't do that after the shows, but maybe it's something in their contract where they can't. I don't know. Anyway, at the 28-minute mark in this particular video, and that video will be linked in the description below, Nene basically surmises what Kenya is actually strategizing by trying to fight with her, because Nene says that they really don't have a reason to be fighting because she is claimed in the after show. If you guys watch this week's after show, I'll put that in the link below as well so that you can check that out. She basically says, hey, you know, I've reached out to Kenya almost 10 times and I never heard back from her. And this was at the start of the season, so I'm not necessarily sure why she wants to continue to beef with me. But then in this episode of her live where she recapped the episode, she basically talked about what she thinks that Kenya is doing. Her idea is that she believes that Kenya is going to want to fight with Nene all season, really just so that she can have a storyline to remain relevant, which she's also said in the news, so that she can take her spot back next to Andy at the reunion. Now, as you guys will recall, and Nene points this out, that while Kenya was, the last season that Kenya was on the show, Porsha had the seat next to Andy and Kenya was on the end. At that point in time, Kenya did not appear on the next season. So Nene says in her video, and again, at the 28-minute mark, you guys can watch this for yourselves to see it. She basically says that her thought is that Kenya is basically coming at Nene and she's going to fight with her all season so that she can get her seat next to Andy and kick Porsha back to the other end of the couch. And then what she says is that she's going to, and the reason why she also says this is because she says, you notice that she's only fighting with Nene. She's not really going too hard at Marlo. She's also not really biting back at Porsha. And Porsha is really kind of giving it to her in most of these episodes, and kind of rightfully so. I mean, Porsha's calling her out in kind of a playful way, but Kenya is really not doing too much with regards to coming back at Porsha because she really doesn't need to fight with Porsha. This is what Nene is saying. She really needs to fight with Nene in order to get that top spot and that top seat next to Andy during the reunion, because she says that not all of the girls care about where they sit at the reunion, but Nene is saying that Kenya does. And to her, she is strategizing to fight with her in order to get Porsha kicked back to the end of the couch so that she can sit next to Andy. And that next season, she's hoping that Nene just is gone from the show, which is why she's been in the press saying that Nene needs to go ahead and leave the show so that at the next season, she'll just end up fighting with Porsha again, okay? And so then that will be the storyline. So she'll have somebody else to sort of have a target with, okay? And the other thing that Nene said was that if you notice that Kenya didn't really go too hard at Porsha, but she asked Porsha to stay out of it, okay? And Nene says that, well, Kenya didn't stay out of it when Nene and Cynthia got into it in Canada. She actually jumped into it, and that's also because she wanted to have that screen time. She wanted to have that fight, that relevance that will put her next to Andy at the reunion. So let me know what you guys think about this. I know that Kenya Moore fans are not going to be here for this, but I will say, from a reality TV show perspective, and just as somebody who's been on reality television and someone who has seen the workings behind the scenes of television and reality TV, I will tell you that it is a smart play. And as someone who may be angling for that top spot, if that is the case, I would say that that would be the smartest play. Just telling you guys from an industry perspective what I think, but I want to know what you guys think, because that's what really matters in this instance. Okay, so comment down below what you guys think, and now we'll dive into what actually happened in the episode. I'm going to switch over my notes because I have a lot of them and I want to make sure that I cover everything for you guys. But we start the episode, we see Eva. Now she's on modified bed rest, but I just want to say thank God that they actually followed up with this story, because I feel like Eva's story has been so scattered. And to be very honest with you, that is one of the most relevant storylines that you could have on a reality show, with a mom to be, for the third time, I guess, really, for a mom to be to have complications with her pregnancy. To me, that's real. To me, that's interesting. To me, that's relatable for a lot of women, because I do believe that there are a lot of women out there who have issues with their pregnancy, and this could have been a great way to educate people on what to do, what not to do, because as you guys can see throughout the episodes, Eva don't know. She's trying to play, she's trying to bowl. Okay, she's trying to bowl, and she's supposed to be on bed rest. Girl, what are you doing? Why would you even think that you should endanger your life like that? But again, I will tell you from a reality TV show perspective, it is better that Eva shows up to these events, because if she does not show up, she does not get that screen time. And to me, I get it, she's pregnant, but she's very underutilized in this show to be a top model, to look the way she looks. She's an amazing looking girl. I think that she's going to need to step it up a bit if she wants to continue on this show, because Black Barbie Black Barbie was listen, I was like, Eva, don't let this girl take your spot, okay? Because Black Barbie she's something. She's a good looking girl. So at the end of the day, I'm like, you better be on the lookout, okay? But I think Black Barbie might be the assistant or something like that, because she was helping out with Eva's photo shoot. And I give her this name, Black Barbie, because that's what Kenya called her, and her actual name is Barbie. So that's where I got that nickname from. Anyway, Cynthia is finally ready to read Mike's manuscript. I love that he washed her car. Let me just first say that. I mean, I just think that, those little things that I feel like men do for women, or like or just one partner does for the other like that. I think that's just exciting. And I'm a country boy, so to me, those types of things mean the world to me, especially when I see it being done. I'm like, now that's something right there. That is something. Which leads me into what I have to say about this whole situation. Now, Cynthia is warning him that basically people are going to be focused more on the salacious parts of his book versus the other parts. And I'm like, duh. I mean, why not? We're focusing on that on the show. That's all you're focused on, okay? So how can you blame other people for being focused on that when that's all you seem to be focused on? So for me, when Cynthia is saying to him, why do you feel like you weren't faithful, and is he ready to be faithful in his relationship to her? This turns into an argument in some way, shape, or form, and I really didn't understand it, because I was like, why are we arguing about this? I don't get it. How did this go so left so quickly? And I feel like with Cynthia being so adamant that she won't cheat, and him taking a more realistic approach and saying, really, to be very honest with you, you never know what's going to happen when you're in a relationship. You can say that as a practice, you have not cheated in relationships before, but you can't actually predict what you're going to do in the future. You just make your best effort to not do that and to not put yourself in situations where you're going to cheat. And I understand that. But my question for you guys as a viewer, is it more common, or is it in general, are men just more inclined to cheat than women? Or are women just less likely to get caught, okay? Because as I was watching the episode, I was thinking, I always feel like in my mind, we always hear about, especially when you watch Love and Hip Hop and all kinds of shows like that, you typically see more of the man cheating, you know what I'm saying, than you do the woman. But in my mind, I'm like, maybe that's not a realistic approach to how we should be looking at cheating. Maybe, women just do it, but maybe they're just better at it. I don't know. Y'all comment down below and y'all let me know. So Cynthia suggested they do some counseling or something like that. And I'm like, first of all, how did things go left so quick? And then did I miss something? But ultimately, I do feel like they need counseling, and I'm about to tell you why, okay? Here is why I think that they need counseling, and here is why I think that Cynthia is acting a bit insecure. And you guys can feel free to go ahead and disagree with me if you want, but just listen to my points, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why I feel like that. One, I feel like she needs to let this cheating stuff go because no one wants to hear about it. This was in past relationships. Yes, it's in the book, and yes, you're reading about it, but at the end of the day, I feel like you're creating a problem where there doesn't have to be one. And the reason why is number two, these are stories about his past, and he's being open to reflecting on his mistakes. It's like, let it go. You have a man here who is basically being upfront with you and telling you, hey, this was my past. This is what I did with these other girls. Number one, they ain't you. And number two, I ain't that guy no more. So at this point, I feel like for somebody to be so open about it, that should be more respected and revered than the way she's kind of taking it and making and turning this situation into something that's really more about her and wondering what's so different about her. You should just be confident in yourself to know that whatever happens, you're going to be good. You cannot control what your partner does or does not do. You can only hope for the best with that. You can only treat them the way that you want to be treated. But ultimately, if they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. That has absolutely no bearing on who you are as a person. So you should never be asking yourself, what's so different about me? You should be asking him what's so different about him at this point, okay? Now, third, this man sounds like he's coming to her as a whole individual. Meaning what I'm saying is it seems like he's old enough and wise enough to have done the work, and now he's a lot stronger and knows more about himself and about life and about relationships in general to not make those same mistakes again. I mean, if you can't see that this man is coming to you whole, then that should raise a red flag, and you shouldn't probably be with him. So if you feel like you're having these red flags, you should run now. And then fourth, I feel like Cynthia has got to become a lot more comfortable talking about these subjects without making them about her. Because ultimately, this is about his book. This is about his past. This doesn't have anything to do with her. And granted, yes, I do think if she wants to ask questions about why he got so many female friends, go ahead and ask that questions. If you got questions about whether or not you dated any of those people, go ahead and ask those questions. But I will tell you this, if you guys watch that after show, she did say that she did, in fact, at some point in time, ask him if he had been with any of those women, and the answer is yes. So now my question to you is, how do you guys feel about that? Now, she says that he said that they never really got intimate, that they only kissed, but I mean, is that enough? You know, does that matter? To me, I'm gonna be very honest with you, to me, that's their past. And I guess I felt like she felt some type of way, like one of them was getting too close, then that would be cause for concern. But ultimately, that's just how I feel about it. But let me know down below what you guys think. Now, we finally see Nene and Gregg finally. I mean, I feel like we could have seen this scene a long time ago, you know, with her chilling in the house trying to light some candles. I mean, ultimately, a lot of times we don't really get those background scenes with Nene. You know how they'll do those montages with everybody doing something, Kandi filming with Riley, you know, Eva eating some ice. You know, we didn't really get a lot of that with Nene this season, and I felt like we should have gotten a lot more of that, okay? She was stressed about the leopard party. I don't know why she was so stressed about it after the fact, because she really didn't show up, but she showed up two and a half hours late. At the end of the day, you couldn't have been that stressed about it. Ultimately, she was upset, I think, mostly because a lot of the girls were either not there because Eva had to leave and Cynthia left with her. Kenya left after 7 minutes. And to be very honest with you, I don't blame Kenya for leaving. As a reality TV personality, I would say it's not smart to leave, which is probably why Kandi stayed. You're obligated to film and you want to get the camera time, so obviously you stay. But in the real life, if you are 2.5 hours late to brunch, again, I am done with brunch and I am probably somewhere drunk, okay? Now let's get to the kickball event. We're treated to a flashback of Cynthia kicking Porsha, and I'm always here for this fight. I don't know why. I should not be, but I'm so here for it. It is one of the funniest fights I've ever seen, and it literally, to me, seems like it happened over nothing. But anyway, I digress. We see Eva's friend, Black Barbie, come into play and take Eva's spot. Come into play kickball. Now, Marlo also brings a +1 in Jamie. Now, again, strategy, guys. This is where I would say the strategy comes in for Eva. She needed to show up regardless, because if she had missed one more day of filming, they really not likely to show her much in the episodes at all. So she needs to be at every single event that she can be at. With Marlo bringing her friend, I was glad that Marlo actually came, and it was interesting, and it was a very strategic move for Kenya to choose Marlo over Jamie. But I thought that did show that Kenya can move on with certain individuals, and that was promising to me. Now, I know a lot of you guys did not see Nene in this scene, but if you guys watch her video, you will know that Nene actually said that she was on her way to the event. Her and Gregg were on their way, but it was across town. They were stuck in traffic, so she was not able to make it. She called the producers, she called all of the girls, so everybody knew that she was going to be there. So later, when Kenya reflects on Nene not showing up to the event, she actually indeed knew that why Nene wasn't there, and she actually knows that Nene actually tried to make an effort to come to the event, but because of the way traffic worked, it wouldn't have allowed them to get there in time enough to make the actual kickball event. So there's more behind the scenes about that. I will say that I was here for Eva's shady commentary regarding the episode, but what I thought was actually really funny was when she said, come on, coach, put me in the game. And I felt like you're really talking to the Real Housewives of Atlanta producers in this scene, because she said that at the bowling event. My bad. She said that at the bowling event. But I thought that was actually some interesting sort of foreshadowing about how she might feel about how production is not really putting her in that much in terms of the game, meaning the season in general. Now, we get a group hug from the ladies. They announced a trip to Greece. I sometimes don't even understand why. I get it in terms of story, but like we all know that these trips are thought about well in advance, and they're planned at the beginning of the season. So to me, it just seems like, girl, we're going to Greece. Come on, let's go. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know. We've been watching Housewives long enough to know that this is not something that, oh my God, you guys thought of. And we also know that typically production pays for the trip, unless there's some type of a crazy upgrade that you're trying to get with regards to the trip, at least from what I've learned, okay? So that's typically how that works. Now we do get a follow up with Cynthia and Mike. We find that she's learned this whole thing about learning how to argue from Michelle Obama. Now, to me, I get it. And I do think that is smart. When you're in a relationship, you do have to learn how to argue with each other safely and effectively. I mean, you can't be calling each other's names. It's not wise to walk out the room. You need to figure it out. Figure it out before you go to bed so you can lay next to each other or whatever. I mean, to me, my thing is this. In general, my belief in relationships is this. When you go to bed with your partner, you should go to bed naked. It is so much harder to stay mad at somebody when you are laying in the bed beside them naked than it is when you are fully clothed, because you can separate yourself with the clothes and with the covers. But when you are naked, I think it ups the level of intimacy with regards to bedtime. And I just feel like it sort of soothes any ill feelings when you're beside the person that you are insanely attracted to. So that's just my little tidbit for y'all out there who are in relationships, but you might be going through a rough patch. Start going to bed naked. See if that changes things just a little bit. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we get to the bowling event, and full disclosure, the scene where Kenya and Mark were with the baby at the pool, I was wondering if that was safe. But as I watched Kandi speak on it, she basically informed me that is something that they also did with Ace. And the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, wow, the sooner you get the child, prepared for water, the sooner that they are more comfortable with it. And I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that. Were you at all shocked? Did you feel like it was unsafe? Is that something that you guys already knew about? I didn't know about it, so I'm just letting y'all know where I'm coming from, okay? Now, at the bowling event, we learned that Mark likes rough, sexy times, and Kenya does not. Now, I thought this conversation was a bit passive-aggressive, but I got a glimpse at what I felt like could really be a very hot couple. You know what I'm saying? And it's shocking to me that Kenya may not be as freaky as I was maybe hoping that she would be. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Cynthia and Eva show up as each other's dates, which I found very interesting because I thought this was a couples event, and Tanya was excluded because Paul could not come. Now, to me, I was like, but this is par for the course. It's part of the cookie crew. So I was just like, it doesn't really matter what they do. But I felt like it was just kind of a double standard, and Mark did a really good job of calling that out and correcting that whole situation, okay? Now, here's the thing. New Escape, okay, was over there commiserating about how Mark keeps Kenya in check. And by New Escape, I mean Porsha, Kandi, Eva, and Cynthia. And so when Kenya comes over and they basically tell her that they were talking about her, I was really here for Porsha calling Kenya out on her BS. Now, let me tell y'all something. I know y'all Kenya fans gonna probably want to go in on me on this, but at the end of the day, I gotta call it like I see it. And at the end of the day, I felt like Porsha was in the right. Nobody else defended Tanya when the cookie lady came to attack, okay, and threw her cookies on the table. Nobody defended her. And I do feel like Nene was correct. Kenya didn't go that hard at Porsha, and Porsha was definitely like, put your finger down, okay? I'm not the one. I was so here for that. But apparently they got over that nice and quick, and I guess it's nothing that a little twerk session can't cure, because the next scene that we saw, they was all chummy getting along. So that moment obviously didn't last long, but according to Kandi and her speak on it, there's going to be more on that later between Porsha and Kenya. So I guess we'll just have to keep watching, okay? Now, everyone is asking if Gregg and Nene are coming. Kandi thinks that Kenya should reach out to Nene to invite her, and everyone chastises her to let the petty go. And this is when we learn who Ken is. Mark says, Ken, let's rein it in. Now, Ken is obviously the docile, demure, passive, and submissive version of Kenya, okay? Now, here's the thing. Let me ask y'all a question. Kandi called Kenya an angel with Mark, but said that she was HE double hockey sticks on wheels with the group. People, let me ask you guys a question. Are you different in your relationship than you are with your friends? To me, that's a little bit normal. Now, in general, I'm the same person throughout, like with everybody. I might be a little more quiet when I don't know you, but that's because I'm trying to feel like, let me see your energy first, okay? But in general, with my friends, I don't treat, it's not about treating your partner like a homie, but I think in general, you're probably a little more, lovey-dovey, a little bit more willing to be a little bit more submissive with your partner than you would be with your homies and your friends and your coworkers. To me, that's just natural. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't think that she's being a fake person. I think that she's trying to pacify the relationship because I feel like she already thinks it's toxic, okay? I'm just gonna be real with y'all about that, but y'all let me know what y'all think at the end of the day. In the preview, I'm gonna talk about this in a different video because this one, I need to go ahead and wrap it up because I got a flight to catch. But what I found interesting, one, I was here for Porsha calling Kenya out on everything, okay? I was here for that. But what I found was interesting about the next episode is where Wendy Williams tells Nene Leakes to let Kenya bury herself. What did you guys think about that? Do you guys feel like Nene and Wendy are kind of like working together, or do you feel like Wendy's just Nene's good girlfriend kind of giving her advice? I kind of feel like that, but I kind of wondered if that puts Wendy at an interesting position with Kenya when she comes to the show, because Kenya has done the Wendy Williams show. So I want to know what you guys think about it. To me, I feel like that relationship is authentic, but I feel like she was just giving her some sage advice. But I just wondered how you guys felt about hearing that. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section below. Now, we touched on everything in this episode. Let me know what your thoughts were about it. Hit that comment section down below. Let me know what you thought about everything that I just said. Give me the answers to all the questions that I had. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button. Hit that like button. And I'm going to see you in the next video.